Choosing the right guard dog isn't just about muscle. It's about loyalty, alertness, control, and how the dog fits into your lifestyle. Two elite breeds always top the list: Belgian Malinois and Doberman Pinscher. Both are sleek, fast, and fearless. But they have very different personalities, instincts, and training needs. Picking the right one could mean the difference between frustration and perfect partnership. The Belgian Malinois is like a military commando. It thrives on obedience, structure, and non-stop activity. This breed was born to work. If you don't challenge it daily, it finds its own job, and you won't like what it chooses. It's ultra-intelligent and protective, but not for first-time dog owners. Now take the Doberman. Regal, confident, and built like an athlete. It doesn't just guard, it intimidates. Dobermans are brilliant, but they can also be sensitive. They form strong bonds with family, and when trained right, they protect with precision. So who wins? That depends on you. Do you want a high-octane, trainable dog who lives for tasks? Or a strong, stylish guardian with a noble heart? Today, we break it all down: energy, loyalty, bite strength, trainability, and more. You'll know by the end which dog matches your life. Let's dive into the head-to-head showdown. Belgian Malinois versus Doberman. Which one is truly the best guard dog for you? 1. Energy and exercise needs. Belgian Malinois are relentless when it comes to energy. They were bred for herding and military work. That means they require hours of activity, both mental and physical. A short walk won't satisfy this breed. If you're not running, hiking, or doing agility drills, they'll turn your home into a jungle gym. Their need to move is constant. Think of them like a canine athlete with no off switch. Dobermans, on the other hand, are also energetic, but not to the extreme of a Malinois. They need daily exercise, yes, but they're more content with structured walks and purposeful play. A Doberman is more likely to enjoy relaxing with you afterward, while a Malinois still wants to do more. If you're not an active person or don't have a large yard or time for hours of daily stimulation, the Malinois may quickly overwhelm you. Dobermans do well in families with a balanced routine. They enjoy play and movement but also love bonding time on the couch. The Malinois is usually better suited for owners who live an intense lifestyle or have experience handling working dogs. Otherwise, boredom in a Malinois leads to destructive behaviors. In short, if your idea of fun is non-stop action and physical challenges, the Malinois fits. If you want high energy with an off button, the Doberman might be more your pace. 2. Temperament and personality. Belgian Malinois are intense and focused. Their minds are always on the move. They're alert, driven, and extremely loyal. These dogs bond tightly with their handler, often becoming a one-person dog. While they can be affectionate, they are more businesslike in behavior. Their protective instincts are deep-rooted and immediate. Dobermans have a noble and watchful temperament. They are more emotionally tuned to their humans. Dobies are loyal, affectionate, and often gentle with family. They love being close to their people and may even act clingy. But don't be fooled, they switch to protective mode in a heartbeat when needed. Both breeds are excellent guardians, but their personalities differ in how they express that role. Malinois are more intense and task-driven. Dobermans are more emotional and responsive. The Doberman is more likely to become a family companion and play with children under supervision. The Malinois may be more aloof and focused on guarding and commands. If you want a guard dog that's emotionally in sync with your household, the Doberman shines. If you want a laser-focused protector who lives to work and follow orders, the Malinois takes the edge. 3. Intelligence and trainability. Belgian Malinois are among the most intelligent dog breeds on the planet. They pick up commands rapidly, often learning complex tasks in just a few sessions. Their brains are wired for problem solving, and they excel in roles like police work, military service, and search and rescue. But with this intelligence comes a need for serious structure. Without clear rules and consistent training, they may outthink and manipulate their owners. Dobermans are also incredibly smart. In fact, they rank in the top 5 smartest dog breeds. They are eager to learn and please their handlers, making training a joy with the right guidance. However, they are slightly more emotionally driven than Malinois. This means a Doberman may need gentler, praise-focused training. Harshness can backfire. While both breeds learn quickly, the Malinois requires an owner who can offer military-like consistency. It thrives in environments where every day has a purpose. Dobermans, though intelligent, can adapt better to typical home routines and a variety of family dynamics. If you're experienced and ready to invest time into advanced training every single day, the Malinois can be extraordinary. If you want a smart, obedient dog that's easier to manage emotionally, the Doberman may be more realistic for most people. 4. Protective instincts. Both the Belgian Malinois and the Doberman have outstanding protective instincts, but they display them differently. The Malinois reacts with precision and speed. It does not hesitate. When it senses a threat, it moves fast to neutralize. These dogs are natural-born defenders. Their protective drive is part of what makes them elite working dogs across law enforcement agencies. The Doberman also has deep protective instincts, but it tends to assess the situation before acting. This breed was developed specifically to guard, combining strength, loyalty, and intelligence. A Doberman will stand between you and danger with confidence and grace. Its alert nature makes it excellent at detecting potential threats, but it prefers intimidation before engagement. Malinois often needs strict supervision and training to ensure their protective drive doesn't go unchecked. They are more likely to act first and think later. The Doberman, while still powerful, tends to weigh the environment before making a decision. This can make them a bit safer around guests or children when properly socialized. If your priority is a rapid response guardian dog, the Malinois leads. But if you want a watchful protector that intimidates smartly and only uses force when truly needed, the Doberman is incredibly well balanced. 5. Family compatibility. The Belgian Malinois is not the typical family dog. It forms strong bonds but usually gravitates toward one handler. Its protective nature can sometimes turn into overguarding, especially around children's unpredictable behavior or unfamiliar guests. Without extensive socialization from a young age, the Malinois might view anything outside its inner circle as a threat. This can be overwhelming in a busy household. Dobermans, however, are surprisingly family-oriented. Despite their tough appearance, they are known to be loving and gentle with children when raised properly. They form strong bonds with every member of the family and often crave physical closeness. A Doberman enjoys cuddling, playing, and being involved in family life. It thrives on affection and attention and can adapt better to a home with kids or multiple people. That said, Dobermans still need structure and consistent training. They can become possessive if not guided correctly. But compared to the Malinois, they're more emotionally balanced in a domestic environment. They're also more tolerant of changing situations, guests, and loud environments. So if you're looking for a personal protector who thrives on a single relationship and needs strict structure, the Malinois fits. But if you want a strong guardian who doubles as a warm, involved family member, the Doberman may be the safer bet for homes with kids or frequent visitors. 6. Grooming and maintenance. Both breeds have short coats, but their grooming needs differ slightly. The Belgian Malinois has a double coat that sheds year-round and more heavily during seasonal changes. Regular brushing, at least 2 to 3 times a week, is necessary to manage this. Their coat is weather-resistant, but it still needs attention to keep them clean, especially if they're outdoors often or in working roles. Dobermans have a sleeker, single-layer coat. They shed less and require minimal grooming, just a quick brush once or twice a week. Their coat is easy to maintain and doesn't trap dirt easily. However, because their skin is more exposed, Dobermans can be sensitive to cold weather and may need jackets in cooler climates. Malinois, on the other hand, tolerate cold better thanks to their undercoat. In terms of bathing, both dogs are relatively low maintenance. Once every couple of months or as needed is usually fine, depending on activity. Nail trimming, ear cleaning, and dental hygiene should still be a regular part of their routine. So if you're concerned about shedding and want a low-fuss coat, the Doberman might appeal more. But if you're okay with a bit more brushing and want a dog that's more resistant to weather extremes, the Malinois has the edge. 7. Barking and vocal behavior. Belgian Malinois are highly alert and responsive, which means they are quick to bark when they notice anything unusual. Their barking is sharp and purposeful, it's rarely random. But their high awareness makes them more vocal than the average dog. If not properly trained or mentally stimulated, they can bark excessively out of boredom or anxiety. This can become a problem in urban areas or apartments. Dobermans are generally quieter. They bark when they sense a real threat or unfamiliar situation, but they tend to use their body language more than their voice to intimidate. A Doberman's deep bark is powerful and often enough to deter intruders. They're less likely to bark out of restlessness, especially when they receive enough attention and training. Both breeds can be taught when and when not to bark. But the Malinois requires more time and patience to manage this behavior due to its higher energy and drive. Without structure, it might vocalize more than desired. If you prefer a quieter dog that only barks when necessary, the Doberman may be easier to handle. If you're okay with a more vocal, ultra-alert protector and you're ready to manage it, the Malinois delivers intense awareness. 8. Bite force and physical power. When it comes to raw bite strength, both the Belgian Malinois and Doberman are formidable. The Doberman has a stronger bite force, averaging around 305 psi, pounds per square inch, while the Malinois typically has a slightly lower bite strength. However, numbers don't tell the full story. The Malinois' bite is fast, accurate, and trained for tactical impact. It's the breed of choice in military and police K9 units for a reason. Dobermans bring size and intimidation. They're muscular, with a sleek frame that looks threatening even when still. Their bite is powerful and used with precision when trained. A Doberman's body is built for both speed and power. When it engages, it does so with direct, overwhelming force. The Malinois is leaner, more agile, and attacks with speed and multiple contacts. It's known for targeting arms or key joints during takedowns. In real-world protection, Malinois bites are trained with intensity and control. If you're focused on the strongest single bite, the Doberman might edge ahead. But if you're looking at tactical precision and speed in motion, the Malinois is unmatched. Both breeds are capable of delivering serious protection, but in very different styles. 9. Socialization and behavior with strangers. Belgian Malinois are naturally suspicious of strangers. Without frequent and early socialization, they can become overly protective and reactive. Their instincts push them to question new people and sometimes act without waiting for direction. This makes them excellent for personal protection but can be a challenge in social environments or with unexpected guests. Dobermans are also cautious, but they are usually more composed around new people. They evaluate situations carefully and often hold back unless they detect real danger. With proper socialization, a Doberman can greet strangers calmly and remain watchful without appearing aggressive. The Malinois needs structured social exposure starting from puppyhood. Otherwise, its natural drive to defend and patrol can become overwhelming. It's best handled by someone who understands canine body language and behavior deeply. Dobermans, while needing training too, are slightly more flexible and adaptive in social settings. If your home often welcomes visitors or you enjoy having friends over regularly, the Doberman is easier to manage. But if you want a more intense, no-nonsense guardian, the Malinois takes that role, if trained properly. 10. Lifespan and health issues. The Belgian Malinois typically lives between 12 to 14 years. They are considered a healthy breed with few major genetic issues. However, like most active dogs, they are prone to hip and elbow dysplasia. They can also develop eye problems or skin allergies if not cared for properly. Maintaining their health requires proper diet, joint supplements, and regular vet checkups. Dobermans have a slightly shorter average lifespan, around 10 to 12 years. They are genetically prone to a few more health concerns, including dilated cardiomyopathy, a heart condition, Wobbler syndrome, a spinal issue, and hip dysplasia. Early screening and responsible breeding practices can reduce the risks, but owners need to stay alert for warning signs as Dobies age. Malinois generally require less vet attention if kept active and well-fed. Dobermans, being more genetically sensitive, may need more frequent monitoring and preventive care. However, both dogs benefit from a high-protein diet, regular exercise, and mental engagement. If longevity and fewer health risks are important to you, the Malinois has the edge. But if you're prepared for occasional medical management in exchange for a loving, noble companion, the Doberman is absolutely worth the effort.